Hello everybody, I hope all of you are doing very well. Let me go into the topic directly. We have been looking into some of the golden rules to be followed in our daily life, whether it is our mundane life or spiritual life. In this series, today I'll be giving you an important thing, that is some food for your thought. That's all. Some food for your thought. A point to ponder about. What is this point to ponder about, to think about? That is argument necessary in our life? Do we have to argue to prove ourselves? See, a lawyer is arguing in the court. Is it necessary for him to argue? Yes. He has qualified himself to be a lawyer. He studied the art of arguing, and he is exhibiting it in the court. And that is his life. That is his job. He is earning money because of that. So he should have very good capacity to argue. Only then he can win cases and he will get more clients and he will make more money. I am not talking about that here. Okay. In our daily life, in our family life, or with our friends, do we have to argue to prove ourselves? What is your opinion? Yes or no? You have to think. Now, let me express my point. See, why do we argue? We argue to convince someone. Okay, you do something, then you justify yourself by arguing or by saying strongly that you are right. You want to prove to others that you are right, or what you have done is correct, or you have done something with a good intention only. So you want to convince the other party. That is argument, isn't it? You say something, then he will counter your argument, then you say something, then again he will counter your argument. Okay, so this is how it goes on. And most of the time, this sort of arguments end up in unpleasantness. More than trying to convince the person, it results in a fight. It results in creating an unpleasant situation. Haven't you felt that in your life many a times? I'm sure. Okay, so my question is, should we argue or not? Okay, see, in this context, let me share my view about this. There are only two categories of people. You take all the human beings in the world, you can divide them into two categories as far as this arguing capacities or arguing nature is concerned. I am not coming to say that one is capable of argument and another is incapable of argument. Not that way. As far as arguing is concerned, there are two kinds of people in the whole world. One kind is, when you argue, they try to understand you. Then, is there any need to convince them? There is no need. So, is there any need to argue with them? Not necessary. Okay, they may not accept what you have done. They may not say that what you have done is 100% correct. But at least they try to understand you. They try to get into your shoes and see why you have done it so. So this is one group. What about the other group? No. Whatever you say, that group is not ready to accept you, not ready to get convinced. They will argue, then you will argue, then again they will argue, you will argue. It will result in fight. It results in unpleasant things. It leaves a scar in your mind. But why did you argue? You argued to convince the other person. By arguing, could you convince the other person? No. Then why did you argue? You got the point. So, now you decide whether you should argue or not. First group is ready to accept you, or at least they understand you. So, there is no unpleasantness, there is only correction if there is a mistake. Okay, there is only some correction if there are some mistakes. Otherwise, so this is a better group because their mentality is different, they are broad-minded, they are having an open mind, so they are ready to listen to you, they are ready to understand you. So, with such people, you don't have to argue at all. You simply explain, and if you are right, you say that. If you are wrong, you say, okay, if you yourself feel after some time that what you have done is not right, then say sorry. There ends the matter. No unpleasantness, no anger, no hatred, nothing. Easy to deal with this group. Think of the other group. The other group is not ready to get convinced at any cost. Even if you stand upside down and argue, they are not going to get convinced because their mindset is like that. Adamant, narrow-minded, not willing to accept somebody. If this is what is running in their minds, then is there any use in arguing with them? It is not that it doesn't have any use. Not only that, it will create hatred. It will create unpleasantness. And it will leave a scar in your mind. And even that person gets agitated because you give counteract. You act, he counteracts. Then you act, he counteracts. You understand? So, now you decide whether you should argue in your life or not. See, I have also argued a lot because I wanted to prove to the other person that what I have done is correct. I wanted the other person to understand me. I wanted the other person to get into my shoes and understand my problem or my stand. I wanted the other person to understand my stand. But when the other person is stubborn, 100% fixed on a particular concept, that whatever you do is wrong or what you have done is wrong, then there is no point in arguing with the person. So, stop arguing with such people. Or even with the first group, there is no need to argue. That is our conclusion. In the second group also, there is no need to argue. So, is argument necessary in our daily life? You tell me the answer. So far, you might have argued with so many people. We might have created a lot of unpleasantness. Past is past. Leave it. From this moment onwards, now that you are listening to my video, now that we have started embarking a journey towards mukti, should we develop such habits of arguing, trying to convince others, trying to get the good name from them, or trying to get acknowledgement from them? No. not at all necessary. Are you getting my point? So stop arguing unnecessarily. Only when it is necessary, that too not with the ferocious mind, not with the ferocious act, you try to argue. No. Very mildly, you say, this is what I thought and so I did it. If it is acceptable, if it is right, well and good. If it is not right, sorry. Finish it. So see, when a person is adamant not to understand you, day and night you spend in argument with him, it's a waste. So understand such people and avoid such people. Your life will be smooth. Avoid such people means not that you break the relationship with such people. Maybe in our own family, there are some people like that. What to do? Family ties are strong. We cannot cut whenever we like. So, which cannot be cured, it has to be endured. You have to tolerate such people, but don't argue with them. Okay, so make it a point from this today onwards, from this moment onwards, you will not argue with anyone. Okay, whether the opponent or the person sitting opposite to you or the person who is listening to you, whether he is superior to you or inferior to you, blood relation or not, friend or enemy or a colleague or your own parents, your life partner, your spouse, your children, your friends, your relatives, whoever it is. No argument anymore in your life. Okay? Just try to think about it and try to put it in your daily life. Thank you. See you in the next video.